The Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, is a national healthcare plan aimed at reforming the American healthcare system. Obamacare's main focus is on providing more Americans with access to affordable health insurance, improving the quality of healthcare and health insurance, regulating the health insurance industry, and reducing healthcare spending in the United States. Obamacare contains over 1,000 pages of reforms to the insurance industry and the healthcare industry in order to cut healthcare costs and to provide more affordable healthcare insurance to all Americans. This presentation will lay out some of the basic benefits and disadvantages of the Affordable Care Act and answer the question of whether it is constitutional or not. First, I will list some of the benefits of the Act. Obamacare was designed to reduce overall healthcare costs by making services available to the 32 million Americans who currently cannot get insurance. Secondly, Obamacare bans insurance companies from denying children coverage for pre-existing conditions. This benefit applies to everyone in 2014. Insurance companies can no longer drop anyone from coverage once they get sick. If a company denies someone coverage, that person can go on an appeals process against the company. Young adults can also stay on the parents' plan until 26 years old, and 82% of uninsured adults will qualify for free or low-cost insurance. Moreover, Medicaid, insurance for families under the poverty level, expanded to more than 15.9 million men, women, and children, 140% below the poverty level. Medicare, insurance for senior citizens, is approved by eliminating the DOTA hole, a limit on the medications you can receive, keeping rates down and expanding free preventive services. Now, let's talk about the disadvantages of Obamacare. First, those who don't purchase insurance by March 2014 and don't qualify for Medicaid will be assessed a tax of $95 in 2014. It increases to $325 in 2015, and by 2016 they will have to pay $695. Additionally, pharmaceutical companies pay an extra $84.8 billion in fees over the next 10 years to pay for closing the donut hole in Medicare. This could raise drug costs if passed on to average consumers. The Affordable Care Act may also cause about 3 to 5 million employees to lose their company-sponsored healthcare program. Many businesses will find it more cost-effective to pay the penalty and let their employees purchase their own insurance plan. In conclusion, about 4 million people, or 1.2% of the population, will wind up paying the tax rather than purchase health insurance. The Congressional Budget Office estimates this will cost them $54 billion. So, is Obamacare unconstitutional? Sure, we know its pros and cons, but how can we determine its constitutionality? My opinion about Obamacare, like 54% of American citizens, is that it's downright unconstitutional. Congress cannot pass any law it wants without going through the Supreme Court. This is the essential part of checks and balances. I personally believe it is unconstitutional because it violates the Commerce Clause. People of America cannot be forced to purchase something they don't need. In the U.S. Constitution, the Commerce Clause gives Congress the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among several states. But liberals and conservatives disagree heavily on whether the federal government can require citizens to purchase private products such as healthcare insurance or face a penalty. The Supreme Court passed Obamacare as a tax and not as a penalty in order to avoid the Commerce Clause. The Obamacare constitutional debate is regarding the usage of words like penalty, fine, and tax. Politicians like Obama argue it's a tax on one hand, but on the other, they say it's not a tax because that would hurt Obamacare's popularity. But if, in turn, the Obamacare penalty is really a fine for not complying, then all of a sudden Obamacare is illegal based upon the Constitution's Commerce Clause. Yet, at the same time, the penalty, or tax, is the only way to make the goals of the Affordable Care Act feasible, since the overall pool of people must increase to pay for it. This argument makes Obamacare a true paradox within the United States, and therefore too confusing to be passed as a law.